wonder who's this commander of his. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else. Remember this. Tancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. The Fury watch over and keep you. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, he will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. Expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. You have names, you know. I'm Alizé and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Sarah's. Sarah's? Where have I heard that before? No matter, Alphino and Alizé will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run towards the station. If you think about going for your weapons, the deal's off. The creatures bar the way, we go around them. Yeah. We're not exactly running. Because we are running, but we're not sprinting. What is that? Your what is it? The thingy right there. Ready refugee. Ugh. That's the station, I presume. I gotta look at those. Cerulean on them? Could be, or it could be eyes. Jotun. Wow. Look, we made it. This is it. The first stop, that is. Inside the city. Good. Looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. It appears you've kept to your side of the bargain. We can carry on. Yeah. North of the station is Reggio d'Amorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. The terrorist shreds if given the chance. Keep close. Wandering off, understood? Yeah. From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen. Aye, they spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. We'll lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. That said, let us proceed. Jotun. I got stunned. Look at those cars. See why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Everyone needs to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but it would eventually regain their sanity. That's so. For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered from bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep going. I mean, we have like a fucking storehouse full of untempered people. I got stunned. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. We got these things over here. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered. That is still the higher priority. We continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. What are you? Oh, look. Tritium. Only 2 ether things. Etherites. Look what they have become. Would you still stand there and claim that they could be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of Primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. With what treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. But no, we could have cured the last ones, not those ones. Once their bodies start changing, then yeah, it's over. Underground. We're almost there. You've kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I already sent the twins ahead. I'll be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Ooh, it is on the ground. I have to get an ether ray underground. I was surprised they used it. That'd be magic. Plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Over your voices, we may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. The commander is in the locomotive over there. Alright, grab my bike in here. Sorry, it's not responding. Opposing commander. Yeah. Gatus? Is that what they were going?
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Vankina, Legatus of the First Legion.
The First? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varus understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
We are not allowed to kill him. But
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
let's take away our magic.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
Because even the most bitter adversary may one day see reason. And quite a few people like that.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Damn, well, we're locked up now. We could definitely get out, but as per Lord Quintus's instruction, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. For you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars, nor would I tell you if I did, and if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. Do you truly intend to speak with the others, or is that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you would doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, or trying to trick our people into turning their coats and like, those shot colors will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste the opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of the situation. Above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. Do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphinaud and Alize will pay the price. Yeah, well, it looks like I just can't go back to base either. Still cold. Cold? Yes. You, Sarah Serene. What? I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends. Swept them aside in their dozens as though they were nothing to you. Maybe I am too, just another faceless enemy to be cut down. It won't be long until my countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve, mark my words. Yeah. Queso. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, but by Garleans for Garleans. It'll be all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk on your face. Off your face. The blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... What's wrong with you? Damn, toward the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. For the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Virgilia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life. We made our escape. Took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radio. And the roar, terrible roar, the capital was in chaos. We were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact but body broken, a soldier in name alone. Put you down where you stand if I could. I'm not the only murderer here then. The radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Did you learn anything on note? Hate me. Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Who's there? My eyes, they can't see all that well. Thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. Me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. They can still serve in that way. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid he would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps I might gain permission to have the deliver supplies? Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we'd need to persuade Julius first. Well, seen enough. Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work. Our mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. It could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. The heating they need. Those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. Which ceruleum you need are secured a ready supply. You can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Everything will change. Those mysterious countrymen of yours, I assume? Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere. No harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servant of the Thalafroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, what stands in its place. We'd identified the seats of the enemy's power. We realized Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion, saying as much. Instructed them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Thalafroi. The allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. You intend to survive in the meantime. At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. We need help now. Say the word and we will bring the ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. Not only that, they don't know who's actually behind the thing. They don't know that Xenos is alive. Did he agree to it? No, he will not place Garlemald in the depth of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. There, under my watch, she will come with me. Well, after all, let's make light work. You are a lot more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. Ba-ba-bow. We'll begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Solius, a park to the northwest of the station. You're to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. I mean, would they not? Will they know that Denos is still is not dead? He has been outside a couple times. I would think somebody's seen him. Ether current. Hold on. Wah! Ow. Oh, this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. Houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus XIV. Do we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? We've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. Then, with your permission, we will commence the search. Art a stubborn lot. Is ceruleum here? Cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum. Does this even have ceruleum? The contraption is built in the style of Imperial War Machina, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations. But on closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide. Okay then. Oh, up here too. Several points of interest are marked on the map for Forum Solius. The pond, children's play area, to your knowledge, however, none would require this use of ceruleum. Although rather small by Guardian standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at shopkeeper. There's nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other device that would be fueled by ceruleum. What? Spaced out. Oh, it's you. Any luck? There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. Can't help noticing you gazing at the pond. Is that the matter? What? Yes, I mean, no, It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet. All was said and done. Every time when we get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch her death walking around like that. The pond was heated. The cerulean-powered heater, by chance? I suppose it must have been, come to think of it. I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath the hatch. That was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear. It wasn't this brackish muck. I can see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. The machinery most likely broken. The amount of filth in there is probably the reason it hasn't frozen over. The water is still unbearably cold, though. Julius, what are your thoughts on magic? The average guardian would jump out of their skin if they saw it, but the first has a few foreign Siniferi? Yeah, it doesn't scare me. Then I'll take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of your fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. The tank isn't going to fetch itself. There's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed cerulean from a frozen lake. While the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane. So fancy a dip? I'm not gonna say that. But a friendly competition might make things interesting. Last one to find a cerulean tank is a rotten egg, though I dare say we'll both smell like rotten eggs when this is over. Pond can be that deep if it was for like little kids. Ankle high. We delve into the murky water, but come up empty-handed. To add injury to insult, the icy one on your damn clothing chills you to the bone. You delve into the murky water, but come up empty-handed. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle. Over the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank. Oh, clicked outside the game. It's called. However, your grand discovery comes at a great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and rancid odor emanating from every elm of your body. Julius will doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver to him your prize. I still got chilled to the bone. Find anything? Hope you did. There's still some cerulean left. Fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphino a hand. Call me an old dawn because by fire I am reborn and my clothes are mostly dry now too. Appreciate you recovering the cerulean, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions, the Empire awarded an estate. We lived well, but many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat, and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite, the ice would melt, the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we climbed to the top of the tallest building we could find, watched the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble. Those friends dead, and those memories, I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. We need to hold on. I don't know how good the help is going to be, even if it comes. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I like to search, just at the park. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks, the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. Better to save those for another time. That time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it'll be quicker to remove the outing casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you to stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering though, you should check the machinas ceruleum gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Understood. Let's get to work. This fuel tank is empty. Let's try. Completely empty. Yep. What about you? You got some on you? No way to at least look for one that. Broken. The working gauge. A bomb. So is this empty, right? Achieve the war market will take to find it is still half full or half empty, but on one's perspective. The way Julius will surely be pleased by your discovery. That's some fuel. More explosives? Wait, is that what I think it is? Yep. We've done it again. Surely luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. Then we're headed back. Wait here while I go and see how Alizé and Alpha are. Yeah, time. Look, flip at them. Oh god.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we? Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Sort of.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
At this point, even if you do fucking take back Garlemald when you're not, you're not gonna have any people. You're gonna be dead.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Euless spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alize are to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Give him any clues. Do as he says.
Get them out of here.
How about me?